Hey, welcome back to Mushroom Masterclass, the Body Systems Edition. This is where we finally explain what functional mushrooms are doing inside of your body, one system at a time, with a naturopathic physician unpacking the clinical research and a published author and wellness company co-founder showing you what that looks like in real life. Let's learn and get into it.
Every fall, without fail, I used to get sick. And not a little sniffle kind of sick. I mean, I was out for a week sick. The doctor would say, your immune system looks fine. And I'd be sitting there thinking, then why does my immune system keep failing me all the time?
And what I hear from people all the time is, I just want a stronger immune system, which makes total sense. But today we're going to talk about why that framing is actually a little bit off and what's really happening when mushrooms meet your immune cells and immune system.
What a lovely meeting. Welcome to Mushrooms and Your Body, a series that we are going to focus on all of the systems of your body and how mushrooms can affect them. I'm Brandi Garden. I'm the co-founder here at Aversio Wellness.
And I'm Dr. Desiree Caruso. I'm a naturopathic physician. So fungi friends, this is episode 1.
Yeah, let's go. So we've been wanting to make this series for a long time. The questions we get here more than almost any other is, what is actually happening inside my body when I take these mushrooms? And I love it. I love that we have gotten to a place where we're actually curious. We're not just, blindly trusting everything, but we want that mechanism of action. So we decided, let's answer that for all the things, body system by body system.
And we're starting with the immune system because the research here is pretty extensive.
Yeah.
Turkey tail, reishi, chaga, maitake. If you've ever wondered why these 4 come up so consistently in immune health conversations, you are about to find out.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
Okay, I want to start by addressing something that you have probably seen everywhere. Boost your immune system. It's on labels. It's in magazine headlines. It's all over social media. It's in every wellness piece of content, basically, come October. Yeah. Right? When it's starting to be flu season and people are starting to get sick. And I understand why people gravitate towards it because when you are sick every few weeks, you want something more. You want to feel and be stronger. Yeah. But a hyperactive immune system is not what you want. That is the territory of autoimmune conditions on one spectrum where your body starts to attack itself. But what the research on functional mushrooms actually shows is something more precise and more impressive. It's called immune modulation.
Say more.
Immune modulation means that these compounds help your immune system respond appropriately, a level of discernment, more active when a real threat is present, less reactive when it doesn't need to be. Think of it like this: a properly calibrated smoke alarm versus one that goes off every time you make toast.
Yes, says the lady who has come through an autoimmune journey. So we're not looking for a hair trigger immune system. We're looking for a well-calibrated one. I love that you used the word discernment. I want my immune system to have discernment, and I'm glad it finally does.
Exactly. And that calibration and discernment is what the research on beta-glucans actually shows. So beta-glucans are polysaccharides. They live in the cell walls of mushrooms. What makes them so interesting from an immune system standpoint is that they bind to specific receptors on your immune cells. These receptors are called dectin-1 and complement receptor 3. When that binding happens, your immune cells respond. Macrophages become more active. Natural killer cells, which are your surveillance cells that patrol the body looking for anything damaged or behaving abnormally, they get primed and ready.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that on a microscope video, and I was like, the mushrooms are telling these cells to get the party started, to get out there and do it. And I thought, I want my cells doing that all the time. And here's where I need to bring up something that affects whether any of this science actually reaches you. Fruiting body versus mycelium on grain.
That's a key distinction.
It is, because beta-glucans are concentrated in the fruiting body of the mushroom. That's that actual mushroom we're always talking about. It's the body, the cap or the stem or the structure that you would picture when you think of a mushroom growing in the forest on a log or even in the grocery store. When a supplement is made from mycelium grown on grain, which is a lot cheaper, then you end up with significantly lower beta-glucan content. And a lot of what's in those capsules is just grain.
Yeah, and this is verifiable by third-party lab testing. The difference in beta-glucan percentage between a quality fruiting body extract and a mycelium on grain product is not minor, it's substantial.
Yeah, so if you're taking a mushroom supplement and the label says full spectrum or mycelial biomass, and there are no beta glucan percentages listed. That is worth paying attention to. So not trying to throw anyone under the bus here, just read your labels if, like me, you're looking for immune system strength.
Okay, let's talk about the specific mushrooms.
Okay.
Turkey tail first, because if I had to recommend one for pure immune foundation work, this is it.
Yeah. Also beautiful, by the way. There's so many in our forest right now. If you've never seen turkey tail in the wild, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's these fan-shaped, multicolored bands on fallen logs usually, and they're gorgeous.
So turkey tail contains two compounds that have been studied extensively, PSP and PSK. PSK, known as Crestin, has been approved in Japan as an adjuvant to cancer treatment since 1977. That's not a wellness blog claim. That's decades of clinical research and government approval in a country that takes evidence-based natural medicine seriously.
Yeah.
The mechanism involves natural killer cell activation and macrophage priming. Turkey tail also has a meaningful prebiotic effect. It selectively feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which matters because a significant amount of your immune tissue lives in your gut.
Yeah, so it's supporting two systems at once. Who doesn't love that?
Exactly. Reishi is the other one I return to constantly for immune support. Reishi has both beta-glucans and a separate class of compounds called triterpenes, specifically ganoderic acid. They're alcohol-soluble. That's why our reishi is a dual extract. The research on reishi and natural killer cell activity is strong. There's also a body of research on its anti-inflammatory properties, which support immune function by reducing the background noise on chronic inflammation.
And chaga. Dr. Desiree, tell them about the antioxidant profile on this incredible one, the king of mushrooms, because it really genuinely surprised me when I first learned about it. I thought, can it be that powerful?
Chaga has one of the highest antioxidant profiles of any substance that's been studied. And that matters here because oxidative stress directly suppresses immune function. What chaga is doing partly is reducing that active oxidative burden so that your immune system has less working against it.
Yeah, let's not minimize this highest antioxidant profile of any substance. That's the one that I was like, really? Could it be? Yeah, I did my research. More than blueberries, higher, more antioxidants than blueberries, more antioxidants than acai berry. All those things you think, oh, it's so rich in antioxidants. Doesn't even compare to chaga. Okay, let's look at Maitake and the D fraction research on Maitake, which is a specific beta-glucan fraction and has shown effects on this macrophage activity and activation and this NK cell activity. So we'll also come back to Maitake in the metabolic system episode because there's interesting research on blood sugar regulation there too. But for immune system health, let's go.
Yeah. So turkey tail, reishi, chaga, maitake, 4 mushrooms, all with research behind them, all working through overlapping but distinct mechanisms. And you'll notice that several of our products contain 2 or more of these together, which isn't an accident.
Okay, let me bring up something that I get in our DMs constantly. Can I take these if I have an autoimmune condition? And that was me. That was me asking another company, I have an autoimmune condition. Can I take these? So you tell us.
Okay, so the honest answer is that if you have an autoimmune condition, maybe you're on immunosuppressants or you are immunocompromised in any way, it's probably best to have a conversation with your healthcare provider before starting anything new. I know people want a quick yes or no, and I wish I could give that. We can't give medical advice, but individual health situations require individual conversations. What I can say is that the modulation framing, rather than straight immune stimulation, that's what people think. I don't want my immune system to freak out. Yeah. It's actually part of why functional mushrooms are being studied and discussed in those clinical contexts, but the specific details of your health picture matter. So they are going to modulate. They're not just going to press a button and stimulate or press a button and totally deplete. That's the modulation piece. That's the cool magic about it, the discernment that the mushroom intelligence has.
Yeah, and that's why my naturopathic doctor at the time, who wasn't Dr. Desiree yet, she hadn't joined our journey at Aversio Wellness when we formulated the very first products, but I was taking lion's mane for my brain. I was stealing Craig's cordyceps for a little extra energy, great for libido, so many things. And then it was the naturopathic doctor I was working with at the time that said, Brandi, if you added turkey tail to this autoimmune picture you have, you might just have the last piece of the puzzle, because I was experiencing so much great anti-inflammatory benefit from those two, and the brain fog was going away and my energy was back. But it was COVID, and everybody was looking for daily immune support during that time. And turkey tail was the one that was sure to give me that as well. And when I added the three together, which later became the 3 mushroom blend, that's what I got. That's what I got. And it was specific to me. So yes, now we have that product available for everyone, but it might not be the one for you. And having a healthcare team, and I highly recommend it being an ND on that team, is what we need to recommend all the time. We will always say that here because it's the truth. You're unique.
Yeah. The other thing I want to leave people with is this. Beta-glucan activity in the immune system builds over time. The research on natural killer cell priming and macrophage activation is looking at consistent, sustained use. It's not a 3-day intervention. This isn't something that you reach when you're already sick necessarily. It's a daily foundation that you build before you need it.
Yeah, not a 3-day experiment, a daily practice, or at those first little signs. I have not been sick in many, many, many years, but I have felt like, something's not quite right, and I do not hesitate. I go right for turkey tail reishi before bed at night. I take the maximum acceptable dose that Health Canada allows. I don't mess around. I'll add a little vitamin C in there with it, a little research showing that the benefits of mushrooms can be enhanced when we have vitamin C on board. I get lots in my diet anyway, but don't wait. If you are around people who are not well, if you're feeling a little something, it's the time to stay with the consistency you've had, keep that daily practice up, and even increase a little bit during that time.
Daily practice.
Daily practice. That's it. Okay, fungi friends. So here's what we want you to walk away with. Your immune system doesn't need to be louder. It needs to be smarter. Turkey tail, reishi, chaga, maitake are among the most studied natural compounds for supporting that kind of intelligent, calibrated immune response. And the quality of the product that you're using, fruiting body, proper extraction, verifiable beta-glucan content, is what determines whether any of this research actually applies to what is in the jar you're holding.
Episode 2 will cover the nervous system and the brain, lion's mane, nerve growth factor, neuroplasticity, cognitive function. If brain fog, memory, or focus is on your radar, that's the one to watch.
Yep. And subscribe so that you can catch it. You don't want to miss it. And if you want to try any of the mushrooms we talked about today, you can shop at Aversio Wellness, aversiowellness.com, and use code podcast15 to save 15% on your order. And if you're not sure where to start, because most people aren't sure where to start, then just take the free quiz that's on our site. Dr. Desiree Caruso, naturopathic physician, designed it herself because she's a genius, because she takes a lot of lion's mane, and it will help you to find the right mushroom for your moment.
See you next time, fungi friends.
There's a mushroom for every moment. I'll see you soon.
Be well.